This is what losing looks like before a single bullet gets fired. 5 players, 1 choke point, 0 information. And you're wondering why the defense is always ready for you. Every Radiant player will tell you the same thing. Space is everything in Valorant. But after coaching nearly 100 players for ranked, I can tell you almost nobody below Diamond actually understands what that means or how to use it. And once you do, rounds that felt impossible start feeling free. But here's the thing, space in Valorant doesn't mean what you think it means. And that misunderstanding is costing you games right now. Think of it like chess. The player who controls more squares on the board doesn't just have more room, they have more options. The opponent has fewer safe moves, can't predict what's coming, and is constantly reacting instead of acting. Valorant works the exact same way. But here's the part people miss. Space isn't just the physical ground you're standing on. Space equals 2 things, information and line of sight. When your team controls more of the map, you see more. You know where the enemy is, and more importantly, where they aren't. That means you can make the right play at the right time, whether that's pushing a side, rotating, or setting a trap. But before you can take the space, you need to understand that not all the space is created equally. Every area on the map exists in one of 3 states, and knowing which state you're in changes everything about how you should play. State 1. Controlled space. This is territory your team owns. You've cleared it, a sentinel has locked it down, or it's your spawn. You can walk through here with your knife out, it's safe. State 2. Neutral space. This is no man's land at the start of every round. Think of Heaven Mid or B main on Ascent. Nobody owns it yet. Here's why this matters. The team that claims neutral space first gets the steering wheel of the round. You control the pivot point. You dictate when and where the fight happens. Therefore, those first 10 seconds of the round where most gold players just stand around, that's the most important part of the round. Your goal every single round is simple. Turn neutral space into controlled space before the enemy does. But the way you do that depends entirely on what agent you're playing, and this is where I see the biggest disconnect in ranked. Here's what nobody talks about. I have reviewed hundreds of VODs from gold and plat players, and the pattern is always the same. Almost every agent is trying to take the space in the same way, with the W key pressed, and take a 50-50 gunfight. And that's not just wrong for most agents, it's the opposite of your job. Every agent class has a completely different job when it comes to space. Let me break this down so it's crystal clear. Initiators. Your entire job is to turn unknown space into known space. You throw your Fade Hound, your Sova Dart, your Skydog into the areas your team can't safely pick. You are the flashlight in the darkroom. You clear the corners so nobody on your team has to gamble their life on a dry swing. Therefore, if you're playing Initiator and you're the first one running through the door, you're doing it backwards. Duelists. You are the first one running through the door. A Jet Dash or Raid Satchel isn't just for highlight. It's designed to shatter the defender's crosshair placement. When you dash onto side, every defender has to make a choice. Deal with you or watch the entrance. They cannot do both. That's how you break a site open. Controllers. You don't even need to be anywhere near the fight. One smoke on the right sideline removes an entire angle from the existence. You are chopping them up into smaller, manageable pieces so your team doesn't have to clear everything at once. Sentinels. Your job is to keep the space your team already has. A Cypher trap on flank means your team owns that area without anyone standing there. You are the security system. But knowing how to take space is only half the equation. The harder question, and the one that actually separates ranks, is knowing when to take it. when to give it up and when to trade it. And that's a decision most ranked players have never been taught how to make. Every time the enemy is fighting for an area of the map, you have three options. Pick the right one and you win the round. Pick the wrong one and you throw. Option 1. Take. You aggressively push forward and claim the space. You do this when the enemy is playing passive, when they're not contesting you, when their utility for that area is weak, when they're basically giving you the ground for free. If nobody is fighting the space, take it. Don't overthink it. Don't wait. Step up and compress the map. Option 2. Retake. This is the opposite. The enemy is dumping everything. Free ults, heavy utility, a full 5-man rush. Their stuff for this area is better than yours right now. Do not die for that space. Give it up. Stay alive, regroup. Play a coordinated retake as a team. One player dying for a lost cause is how you go from a 5v5 to a 4v5 before the round even starts. After coaching so many students, I can tell you, learning when to give up space and not ego picking is the single fastest way to stop bleeding unnecessary deaths in ranked. Option 3. Trade. This is the big brain play. They commit everything to one side of the map, you take the other side. If they're dumping all their resources into executing C site on Lotus, you push A main, take their spawn, and flank them. You're not fighting their strength, you're punishing the space they left behind. Now, these three options sound simple on paper, but the hard part is reading the enemy in real time and choosing correctly. So, let me give you the two things you need to pay attention to. Every time you're fighting for map control, you are evaluating two things. Variable 1. How are they playing? Are they rushing you aggressively? Are they sitting back and waiting? Or are they slowly probing and then committing? Watch the first 15 seconds of each round and you will see the pattern. Variable 2. How does your utility stack up against theirs for this specific area? Not overall, not in general, for this exact fight right now. If they have a Raid Nade, a Breach Stun, and a Flash all aimed at your chop, and you have a Smoke, their utility is better. Do not fight it. When the enemy is aggressive and their utility is equal or better, retake or trade. When the enemy is passive and their utility is weak, take that space and don't look back. This is the framework, and once you start seeing the game through this lens, ranked stops feeling random. You will know exactly why you won rounds and exactly why you lost them. Therefore, you can actually fix your mistakes instead of just blaming your team. By the way, if you're watching this and thinking, I want someone to actually review my gameplay and tell me where I'm making these mistakes, that's exactly what we do in the coaching community. Live VOD reviews, map-specific guides. There's a free 7-day trial, link is in the description if you want to check it out. Alright, here's what I want you to do in your very next ranked game. At the start of every round, look at your minimap. Ask yourself one question. Do we own more of the map or do they? That's it. Just start noticing, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You will realize that every round you have ever lost started with the same problem. Your team had no space, no information, and no options. Space is how you take control of the game, and now you know how it works. Now, everything I've covered today is about the attacking side of space. But defense has its own framework, and it's just as important. I'm breaking down the 3 layers of defense in the next video, including the one mistake that gets people killed in the first 5 seconds of every round. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you want coaching, VOD reviews, and the full guide library, the community link is in the description. First 7 days are free.